Hey guys, I am live streaming real quick. Baby's sleeping upstairs, so I'm gonna be a little quiet here. I just finished recording my part 2 of my video for how I became a software engineer. I thought maybe since I have all this stuff like set up, maybe I'll just go ahead and do some live coding. Let me just say, I wonder if I could do live here too. That'd be weird. Are interested? Cool. Let's do something like this. Fire? No. Yeah. Alrighty. I should probably. I don't have. So I don't have a chat there. Live stream. Let me just try to keep the chat window. Okay, I'm just gonna use my phone. Sorry, just getting everything set up. Before, when I'm upstairs, I use my other computer to see what all the chat's going on, but I don't have that, so I will have to do this. I'll mute all of this, so I just have my thing going here. Live chat. No one's in the live chat, so no one could see anything. Okay. Well, I'm on my own, I guess. So last time I left off this project, let's see, where did so encoded? No. Oh, here it is. Idea muscle. Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright, I don't know if that one person that's watching is me or not, but yeah. Okay. So it looks like I have a few things here. Probably should keep it up here. Alright, npm start, see what's going on. I believe last I left off this project, I had, what is this? Sure. Last I left off this project, I had just got some like rudimentary states working. Yeah, enter your idea here, and then essentially, cool. So it looks like I have a lot of the main functionality done. Alright, so should I spend some time making it pretty today? Or let's kind of like get all the functionality done, and then we'll move on. So let's take a look at the Trello board here. Just make sure comments are not supported on private videos. It's not private. Streaming now. gonna keep an eye out of this stuff down here. More people come. All right. Hey guys. Yeah, I'm just getting ready here. My baby's sleeping upstairs, so I'm gonna be a little quiet here. So I have my phone here for the chat because I'm not upstairs and I don't have my computer. So, but yeah, I'm just kind of working on that project that I started last time when I was live streaming. So same format as last time. Feel free to ask any questions. If I happen to see it on chat, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, today we're going to be continue to work on this. I'm getting re-familiarizing myself with the code base. Last time we left off, man, I really wish I had another screen here because I'm used to working with like 3 giant screens at work, and this is like a 13-inch MacBook Pro, so just getting used to the code base. Before I get too far, let me just check the status, check the logs. I could have swore I was gonna do like 1 commit per, but I don't know if I pushed it. Okay, initial commit of the project, live stream session. Okay, cool. Looks like I'm still just pushing to master, which is great. Don't do that. All right. So let's take a look at this. So I have some ideas, like maybe I should implement Redux, but this is such a simple app that I don't think, I think I could just put everything in this top level state, and this could kind of be my container essentially. And all the state will be here, and I could just pass everything down through this. I don't think I need to do anything that's like really, really deep, so there's really no point. And I just have to keep all of my callback functions up on this level, and when I pass everything down, it should be fine. Alright, so I have the composer, which is probably that like input button that I have, and I have this like idea list. So I was gonna make a refresh button, so let me just quickly make a button here. You know, I must really love coding because I just spent like, I don't know, this whole week I've been putting in a lot of hours at work, and after recording, I just got finished recording my video on like how I became a software engineer. Like I'm doing like the boot camp, like I explained what the boot camp experience was and stuff like that, and now I'm like 10:20 I'm coding because I want to. But yeah, and it's a Friday night, so anyways, wait, this is not right. So I'm just adding an on-click event handler here, like so, and I'll just say refresh for now. Refresh. Let's just double check that. Okay, yeah, I need to add something. Let's see, input handler, handle submit. It's essentially, yeah, that's essentially handle submit. Handle submit does some of that, right? This does, okay, so prevents the default. This does state.idealist. So this is like resetting the current idea list to the new list. Wait, this does state.idealist. What is idealist? This does state.input value. So the new list. Okay, so this is setting the current state of the idea list into this new list that I'm creating. This could probably be a const. And then now I'm pushing the state of the input value, which is what's in the input and the composer component on, and I'm resetting the input value, and then I'm setting the list, essentially complete new array into it. So I could probably create a component, like a function here called like reset app, I guess. Prevent default. I'm not sure if I necessarily have to do this. Usually you have to if your button does like default behavior, like if you have a submit button inside like an input tag, then that when you hit that submit, it would actually make HTTP requests, or it would actually do the submit event. So usually it's tied to like an event, like a HTTP like post event. Yep. So here I'm just going to this dot set state. So here what I'm doing is I'm just gonna set the input value to be the default value. So it's very similar to what I did earlier, but it would just be this initial value. And I could probably like, this is kind of code smells, right? So I could probably like extract out default state or something like that here, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So reset app, and then on button click, this dot button click. I'm probably not gonna. So some people wonder why you have to like bind this context, and usually it has a lot to do with the keyword this. In JavaScript, this has like many different, based on the context of who called this, it changes what it means. So for example, if you went into node and then you called like this, it would be undefined. Well, actually, it would be this would be the node object. But what's a good? Maybe I'll do a separate video on it, because this is like kind of complicated. But for example, when you call this in this context right here, it would refer to this dashboard class, right? So this dashboard class. But let's say that I want to pass this reset app function into the next component. Now, if you look at this, there's this dot set state. So when this gets called by the composer, that this will be referred to not the dashboard component, but it'll be referred to as the composer component. It's this, and the composer component doesn't. The volume needs to be up. Okay. 1 second. I don't know how to make the volume go up. Is that better? Alright, I hope that's better. It's actually harder to code like this. I'm speaking a little quietly because my baby's sleeping upstairs. But yeah, I hope that's good. Hi, Emery Yasha, if that's how you pronounce your name. Anyways, so basically what I'm doing today is I'm continuing building out this idea muscle app that I started on my last live stream. I have a Trello board here, so I know which like ones I'm doing today. Okay, great. I'm still working on trying to like figure out all of this like live stream stuff, but yeah, give me feedback. Thank you. So yeah, so going back to like the conversation of this, so this dot set state would not be available when this guy calls it. So the way you solve this problem in JavaScript is by using bind. So there's a few ways to bind. So what you're doing is you're binding the context of this to the dashboard. I'll do a separate like entire video on this, but basically that's what why people use bind, so that when this dot reset app is called, dashboard this refers back to the dashboard, not the person who called it. You could use like apply and call as well to bind, but so usually people just like bind it because more often than not, you mean to do called the dashboard's this dot reset app than the others, even if you're not passing it down particularly. So let's go back. Let's submit a few ideas and then refresh. Hey, would you look at that? It worked. So essentially we reset the state of the app. In the end, I think I'll probably create, like, this will be a submit button at the very bottom, not this submit, but it should be something else. Like, there'll be 10. Once you get to 10, there'll be some logic. I'm thinking that once you get to 10 cards, a button will come up. So say it's, finish your session or something like that. And then when you finish your session, it will reset the idea, so you can start the next session if you want, essentially. So let's go ahead and move that Trello board. I wonder if I could archive. Archive. Okay. This is probably not. I'm just doing this because I want to know what I finished today. Normally, you don't. There's something that automatically does this. Like if you use Jira or anything like large. But yeah. Anyone who's on the chat, feel free to ask any questions. I'll answer them while I'm doing this stuff. I don't think I need to do this for this project, nor this, because I only have one. Maybe I'll do some styling. Yeah, I'll do some styling today. So how should I do this? I'd rather use SCSS than okay. So there's many ways to style components. There's some good like React projects that. So React Bootstrap, it's pretty good. I might use this. Normally I just like freehand my stylings, but since I'm working on this like side project, maybe I'll just leverage this. So for those of you guys who don't know what Bootstrap is just like these collection of CSS. It's basically a collection of CSS, and it's a lot of websites are actually built on Bootstraps, and my recommendation usually is to not use Bootstrap when you're starting out, because it's like Rails, it's like any kind of like framework type things where it does a lot of things behind the scenes for you. It's great to use that to build things quick, but if you don't know how to do that like by yourself, then it's just one of those things that you'll always be afraid to kind of make changes to. So if you rely on Bootstrap, yeah, it's great. You could quickly build things that look pretty nice, but if you don't know how to like make these buttons by yourself, like every single aspect of it, then you lose out on that customization, and you lose out on like your own learning, right? So, but I might go ahead and just use this because maybe not. Okay, I'll just do it by hand. All right. So usually when I do this, I like to take a look at the SAS component here. Why do I have so many? What kind of app are you building? What is a function? So the app that I'm building, I explained in the last live stream, but essentially it's based off of this guy named James Altucher. He talks about this like concept of ideas being like the modern day currency, and he has in this article in this article he basically talks about this exercise that he does where he thinks of like a category of some sort, and then he'll try to like write down 10 ideas based on that category. So for example, you could say, give me like 10 business ideas, right? Business ideas. So you just sit down for like as long as it takes you, and you just sit down and write down, 10 ideas. And it's actually really hard to do. So the whole point is not to create new amazing ideas, but is more to train your idea muscle, you call it, to create new ideas. So you could read this article. I'll link it, I guess, later in the descriptions. But that's essentially what I'm building. And I'm kind of trying to build it, building this entire app live streamed, because in I'm trying to do one commit at a time per live stream session, so that anyone who wants to actually see a real app, small side project get built, you guys could, it's a long firm, but you could go back and watch me build it essentially. Hey, AWSCR, you're late. Oh, that's fine. I just started. I didn't really tell anyone I was doing this. I just finished I just finished recording a video, and I'm just trying to, it's really cold in here, oh my gosh. But yeah, okay, so right now I am going to try and style some components. So what I like to do is I look at my JSX, my HTML essentially, and then I see here that I have this class name to work with. So when I look at the structure, so when I do CSS, I always think of everything in boxes, right? So every div is essentially one box. So when I look at this, I want to have one big box that's in the middle of the page essentially. So it will be like that. And then I want a little bit of heading up top here that pushes everything to the bottom. I'll probably, like I mentioned, I'll remove this for now and then only do it later. And then here, I'll probably make this input button a lot bigger, here. It's more prominent. I'll probably hook up one of my key bindings so that when you hit enter, it submits. And then I'll probably put this submit at the very bottom when you have 10 ideas, and that would actually be refresh. So I'll get rid of the submit button and then hook up the enter. Anyways, yeah. I'll just basically, I'm going to be centering this. So to do this, I need one big box probably, and then I usually like to have a box around this input so that the input could be smaller and then the box outside could be bigger. And then the list will have a box. Yeah, everything's boxes. So I'll just do this really quickly, or as fast as I can. So one thing I need to double check is that I'm importing. Am I importing? Looks like my wife is here. Woo! End of live stream. No, I'm just kidding. Import / dashboard.scss. So here I'm just importing this styles component. And what I usually like to do whenever I do these kind of things is I always like to test my test that these things are hooked up correctly. Aqua. Hey Chris, what's up, man? So here it is. So just by that, I know that I'm selecting my It's always fun seeing your friends joining your chat, because it's kind of like this disconnect, right? I'm putting stuff on YouTube. Anyways, there's my wife. Hey honey, I'm live streaming. Alright, she doesn't care. Alright, so here alright, so what was I gonna do? Okay, so I'm gonna add a padding on top. Let's just do that for now. That's too much. Do you need help? You're good? Okay. You sure? Okay. Alright. So the next thing I want to do is I want to edit. No kisses? No nothing? Okay. Alright. So Alright, so it looks like the next thing I need to do is get at these composer guys. She's too busy. She went out to get like gifts or something like that. Alright. Okay. So here it looks like, okay, composer, SCSS. Why is it doubling? Anyways. So it looks like I have this guy that I could work with. Oh, jeez. See, the thing about live streaming is that you don't necessarily get your full window real estate. So, you know, I'm coding with like one hand tied behind my back, essentially. I have like 3 monitors at work. So, all right. So like I mentioned, I like to kind of just do these just so I know what kind, like how my boxes look, right? It looks like it's already centering for some reason. It shouldn't. I probably have some styling on the dashboard itself that's centering everything. So for example, if I made this with like 100%, what would that do? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so the thing I need to do is I need to get at this input button, right? So nice thing about SCSS, which is not CSS, is you could do something like this. And then I think it's like border none. Yeah. Border radius. Hey, would you look at that? Just too much. Let's do min height. Nope. I want it larger. So this screen should be like humongous. Hello. Hey. Can't get your FaceTime here. Okay. Bum bum bum. So one thing I could do is I could do like sometimes when you make these things, what I like to do often is set like a min width, and then I also like to do like a width that's based on like a percentage of some sort, maybe 70% of the width. That way it's some like it kind of like scales, but at the same time, I mean, if you are worrying about like mobile friendly, then later you have to do like add like media and then you change the mobile. Anyways, I kind of like this is fine. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a padding. Oh, that's too much. Okay, so the way padding works here, I'm going through like really basic stuff. So padding, you could do, oh, wants to say hi to her. Hi Karen. Chris is on the live stream. Yeah. So this is top, this is right, this is top, bottom, and this is left. Boom. All right. I should. That's good enough for now, I think. I don't really like how that looks. Anyways. Okay, get rid of the background color. Also, pro tip here is that things always look really great if you make this into like some really light gray. Oh man. Alright. Facebook gray. Where is it? Facebook gray. But yeah, you guys, whoever you guys are who's joining, feel free to ask me questions and I'll answer them. Right now I'm just doing some brief styling of my app. Boom, looks so much better, right? Alright, I'm gonna get rid of those 2 buttons because I don't want them there. and it's gone. And the submit is, do I have it in the composer? Man, I think it's been a few weeks since I wrote this. Let me just comment those out for now. No cards. Dude, look at that. I even have an empty state. Man. No, it's just the state. Okay. Idea. No cards. Idea. Why? Okay. Oh. I have a list. Okay, yeah, I do have an empty state. Alright, let's make the empty state a little bit more pretty, right? So here, just test that it still renders. No cards. Okay, so so here I'm just thinking about a good name for it. So this is a card, technically a card, right? So what did I name my card earlier? Idea card. Great name, John. Okay, idea card. I mean, it is a card. So I'll just keep idea card. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Idea empty card. So one thing I do, one thing I do a lot is really think about the names that I give him. I'm never happy with the names that I choose, usually because it's either too verbose or it's not verbose enough. And in naming things like class names and variable names is probably one of the hardest things you can do in programming. But yeah. So here, let's see, idea list SCSS. Looks like I'm importing that. Here's the empty card state. And like I said, I usually like to just do this to sanity check everything. All right, great. So before, if you remember, I think I did width 70%, and then I did a min width of something. What was it? Composer, SCSS, min width. Alright. See, this is why I like to keep the background color, because then you don't have to you look into it. So it's all right. Okay. All right. So here's quiz number 1. How do you guys center an object? So there's a lot of ways to do it. I kind of overkill usually whenever I do this because I like Flexbox a lot more than anything else. But I usually use Flexbox. So you just say display flex, and then you do justify content in the center in the center. There you go, done, nailed it. And it looks like this padding I used before is that, which is great. Oops. All right. Border radius, let's do 5 pixels for that as well. Alright. Dashboard sash. Let's make this 100 view width, eh? Whenever I'm debating variable names, I think people generally would prefer more verbose than too ambiguous. Yep, I agree too. But there is times when it's like too verbose, right? Like especially if it's like a very like commonly used like function or something like that. Like sometimes it's too verbose. But I don't know. Like Apple, if you look at Apple code, like most iOS, like even Android too, it's like super long. Like every single like function call, it's like super long. So this is 100% view height. It's pretty cool. All right, so I don't need to see this guy anymore. All right, great. So I have these. Oh man, I have these cards. The thing is, I always have to have this. It's like, all right. So it looks like when it's too long, oops, the box gets a little big. That's fine. All right. So next thing to do. Get rid of this. So add a min height. I see what you mean. Definitely see what you mean. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Very difficult. Background color is white, I guess. Hey, okay, that's a huge card there. That's still too big. This is not bad. That's not bad. I think this list though, idea card list, could need a little bit more margin at the top. Hey, there he goes. Alright, what's next? Alright, let's center this guy too. Display flex, justify content center, align items, center. Oops. Hey. Also, pro tip, if you make the font color not like black, but like a dark gray, space gray, or something like that, it just looks better. Let's try that. Is that what? Font color. No, it's just color. Oh, feel like a noob. Yeah, see? Look how nice that looks. I'm just creating my own side project. I wouldn't be able to live stream any actual work. So start. Okay. Start your session. Actually, yeah, we should make this. I should add like what an idea muscle is. Idea muscle is a trainer. I suck at spelling. Trainer? That muscle will train your brain to create new ideas. I'll do that, and then I'll create a button here, a large button here as a start session. Yeah. Okay. So the reason why it's like this is because it's flex. To fix that problem, super easy. All you do, because I already have a flex, I do flex direction, and I do column. Boom, done. All right, let's fix that button. Bum bum. See, a lot of people struggle with CSS because they rely on Bootstrap. There's nothing wrong with Bootstrap, but I just prefer to do everything by hand. But you see, if I did Bootstrap, then I wouldn't have to like customize this button. It would just be like based on I just give it like a variable, like a prop, like primary, secondary, or all these kind of stuff, and then it will just know how to style itself. But here I need to, even like a small button or like a font or every little thing you have to make your own self. You know, whatever. Let's go get ourselves a palette. I like to use Dribble. Dribble's pretty cool because you could get like palettes pretty quickly. So I don't want to search anything. This is pretty much like, that's pretty neat, pretty nice. This already has like kind of a style. This is like Google Colors though. I kind of like this though. It's very simple. Take me a few days to make this. Ooh. Should we go pink? It's like a more colorful. Kind of like this too. That's pretty. That's cute. So yeah, Dribble's really nice to just get colors. I learned a lot about. So I learned a decent bit about like design when I was doing like my comics and all this kind of stuff and like color theory. But yeah, I still just, you know what? Let's do this. I like this. So I don't know what this is, but it's pretty nice. So, alright, give me a second. So one nice thing about SCSS is that you could create like variables, styles. I think you have to do this. I don't remember. I think you have to put an underscore. I don't know. So you do that, and then I could say hot pink. Nice. Do I do that or this? I think it's this. Yeah. Great. Bow tie blue. These are the decisions that you make and then you regret later because these names suck. Alright. Shader blue. Oh, dark blue. So I actually really like, so I got a question from Leviel. So I used to use Atom for a really long time. It's actually, even my Visual Studio Code uses Atom hotkeys. I recently switched to Visual Studio Code because of work. And at work I use TypeScript, and Visual Studio Code has really good integration with TypeScript. That's like the main reason why. And I just kind of got used to it. I still go back between Atom and Visual Studio Code, but yeah, they're both really excellent. What was I doing? Okay, looks like this. Highlight yellow, right? Nope. No. This thing is kind of trash. Actually, I take that back. It's pretty good. Not so hot pink. This is really terrible. Names. Whatever. Okay. Light hot pink. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. If not, I will just continue encoding on. I'll probably do this for another until I finish these like few elements. Yellow. So one nice thing of I feel like it's kind of like an orange. Dark. Just orange. One nice thing about SCSS, looks like that's a nice blue, is that you could set like variables for these colors, and then later you could just import them. Trying VS Code, I feel the built-in debugger is really helpful and simple. Yeah, I haven't used the default debugger that much actually. Usually I just like, what I usually do for debugging is obviously the console logs, and also for like just code, I just have the debugger here. I just set the debugger, debugger, oh my gosh, bugger, like so, and then I look at the Chrome tools. But I should look into that. What was I doing? Dang it, Chris. Just kidding. Feel free to ask more questions. Alright, so I have some colors here. I am going to see like all these colors. I should actually be putting it into colors, because then later on, if you want to change them, you just change it in one place, and then it just works, right? So I believe, man, import. Do I say import here? So it's no, one more. How do I import this? Where was I? Okay. Go back. And then go to styles / colors. So what? Yeah. So I think you just do this. You don't need to put the underscore. It just assumes that that's why you have to name it underscore, to let it know that it could be imported, I believe. One way to find out is, why is this doing that? Oh, background color. What was I gonna do? Empty car. Hot pink. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Hot pink. No. Was it 3000 or 8080? Hey, it worked. Yep. It's actually really hard programming like this, guys. You have no idea. Usually I like to do white. Let's add a margin top to this. What is that? Add a padding. 20 pixels. Big, that's kind of big. Okay. Font size. Yeah. It's actually not too big now, is it? It's kind of big, huh? What if I made the entire... Nah. It looks ugly. I think I know why it looks ugly. I think it's because it doesn't have a margin bottom. It's not too bad. Also, I think this, I don't think I need that. This makes it ugly. By the way, that should be wrapped around a P tag. This is too long, that's why. Train your brain today. Train your brain today. Alright. That's a little better. Still not super happy with it. It's probably too big. That's what it is. That's a little better. Alright. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is when I click this, it needs to disappear. Maybe I'll add a timer. Ooh. Oh, maybe at the top I have like a timer that like pops out. That'd be pretty cool. I'll probably have to look up how to do that. Probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna have a timer for sure. But for now, when I hit this, it's gonna disappear, and then it should probably focus on that or something. Or as soon as, or actually this should not be here until I hit the button, right? The composer should not be there until I hit that button. Alright, I'm gonna just do that for today and now end it, I think. So basically the composer will be gone, and then it'll say train your brain today, and then you hit start, and then this card disappears, and then you can start typing your idea. Let's just do that today. Alright, so that means I probably have to refactor some stuff, but that's fine. So let's see. Okay, so this button I probably need to pass in a prop here. So right now this is on the empty state of the card. That probably doesn't make sense. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I need to take this out. I didn't think through this very carefully when I was doing this. Anyways. Alright. So I have the composer. I need a new state here. So basically I need like in session or is in session, something like that. This will be false. So a new state here, down here. Oop. Wow, 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. That means hello in Korean. SKS. Hi SKS. I'm actually decent in Korean. I can't type though. So basically I'm gonna do a ternary here. This dot state dot session. So if it's in session, then I'll do this. If not, then I'll do no. I might have to return a div, possibly. We'll see. Do I like how I wrote that? Not really. Yeah, that's not bad. Boom, it's gone. All right, the next thing I need to do is, I think I might have to pull that card out, this card out of this, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have that in the idea card list. Man, I don't like refactoring live code. Alright, whatever. So train your brain today, start session. When you click that, it needs to set this is in state to false. So one easy way to do that is create a function right here called, let's see, toggle is in session, like so, and all this needs to do is call this dot set state, this dot, and then is in session will equal this dot state dot is in session, so opposite of that, right? Let's bind this sucker. Easy. Dun dun dun. State is in session, so it's basically binding the opposite of the current state. Let's test this real quick before I refactor it. So here I'm gonna pass in this function called toggle is in session, idea card list will be here. I could destructure this guy out from the props, and then on this button on click, big fan of your videos. It helped me a lot about knowing the software engineering career. I'm actually trying to go to a boot camp in Korea here. Oh, that's awesome. I really would love to hear more about boot camps in Korea. That's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, feel free to reach out, ask me questions. Okay, I'll click. Alright, let me try that. Hey, look at that. Would you look at that? Beautiful. Alright, great. Yay. Okay, so the reason why it goes like this is because I have it toggling, remember? Pretty easy, right? So the thing is, I want to get rid of this here because this is now not an empty card. I guess I could make it like that. But see, the ugly thing to do is something like this, right? So I do, if I pass down the state of is in session, then I could have a ternary here and go like this dot, or like is in session, like toggle is in session, and then do a ternary here. But it does. I don't like to nest ternaries because this is already a ternary, right? Oh baby. I'll take it out. Don't be lazy. Usually when you're programming, there's often times you'll have this little voice in your head that says, you should probably refactor that. Listen to that voice. Yeah. Because if you don't, then you're going to have to fix it later anyways. And it will be harder to fix later. So, suck it up and refactor it now. Alright, so this right here, I'll actually do like an empty card. Let me grab this out, put it out here. So this would actually be, instead of the composer, it should just be this. Ooh, alright. Sometimes JXX, you know, gotta hate it. Sometimes you hate it, sometimes you love it. Can I just do this? Do I need to wrap it around? Let me see. Yeah, of course it doesn't. Just dot. Alright, great. Okay, I'm gonna change this. So I don't need this guy anymore. I don't need this guy anymore. This guy is now really just you have no ideas right now. Alright, great. So this is not an empty card anymore. It's this would be idea muscle session starter or something like that. Man, that's a terrible name. See, Chris, this is what I'm talking about. This is a bad name, but I will continue on with that. Now I'm just gonna copy paste under there empty idea card. Probably get rid of that. So one thing about CSS is that a lot of people are scared to delete CSS. I am not scared to delete CSS. So many bad boot camps and SCSS, so many bad boot camps and government education here, but found a decent one and going to backend web dev as a new career. Your personal stories, talks helped about your life, helped me in life deciding to do best at what I do in IT industry here in Korea. Yeah, that's great. And it sounds like your English is really good too. So if you ever want to come to the city, come to America, let me know. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, send me an email if you ever make that transition happen. It's definitely worth it. Chris. What was I doing? I have no ideas right now. Alright, so it looks like I have successfully refactored that guy out. But I have to center this beautiful cards, this idea muscle starter session thingy. Wait, why isn't it? Oh, because I'm not targeting the guy above. So the idea muscle dashboard, display, flex, justify content, center, align items, center. Ooh, what did I? Oh yeah, flex direction, baby. Column. Okay. Oh, sorry, I don't need that. What happened? Idea muscle. Idea starter. Display flex, justify content center, flex direction column. Yeah, that looks right. What did I do? What did I do wrong here today? Oh, is it this one first? Align items? Sorry. Yeah. So that's one thing that I always confuse, justify content versus align items, and especially if it's in like flex. It also depends on like flex, what your flex direction is. So one controls the horizontal and the other controls the vertical. And I always get these like kind of confused because it changes based on what flex direction is. And flex direction is column based, so it's like column, or row based, row. And if you also programming in React Native, the default to flex direction is opposite to web. So I think in React Native it's defaulted to columns, and then in web it's defaulted to rows. So like, yeah, it's always confusing, but it's it's whatever. It's very easy to debug that. So boom, start session. All right, I gotta get rid of the. So it looks like I do need to pass this state down to this component anyways. Boom, boom. The reason is because the card list needs to know if it's in the session as well, right? Because then what I could do so it's kind of a nested ternary, but gotta do it. So, is it in session? If it is, show this guy. else, no. What? Why? It's probably this. Oh, I know why. It's because I'm trying to do some funky stuff here. Actually, I could probably do I need to think about this. So what I need to do is when is in session, I need to, so I'm gonna quickly go in session. So I like to, oftentimes when I'm like working through stuff, I will do something that's obvious before I implement something that's a little bit more tricky. So no, I'm not in session and I'm in session. So that's fine. So I need to put this entire thing into this portion right here. And then this just needs to be a null. So that's fine. So let's go ahead and bring this guy down. And then bring this guy down like so. Like that. So now I need to inject. So the thing that's might be tricking it up is because I'm saying that, hey, this is another JavaScript thing right here. So that's probably what it is. So I might have to wrap this into something else. So let me first see if I could do that. There you go. So I really don't like to do nested ternaries because it makes the code really ugly. So I might put this into a separate component. You have no ideas right now. Right. Okay. That's ugly. Let me fix this. This is not too bad. I don't like it, but alright. So usually if I have to nest ternaries like this, I wouldn't. But I'm a little tired. So I'll probably leave it like this for now and then refactor it later. You have no ideas right now. So. Alright, so last thing I need to do for today's thing is hook up the composer. This input, I want to add a key. I forgot how to do this. Input trigger on enter. React. All right, on key press. Great. Great. Okay, got it. So on key press, handle submit, enter key press. Don't need this part. So enter pressed. So this, I'm making assumptions here where I'm going to be passing in an enter press, and this passes as an event, which is this guy right here. So in my dashboard up here, I need to create another component. I mean a function here called enter. What was it called? Enter key pressed, right? Oh wait, no, I copied it. So right here, the event key code that I picked, 13 is enter. So do stuff here, and I could probably copy paste the this code right here. I don't really want to. I think I could just do this dot handle submit and pass the event here too. Probably. Yeah, that probably works. I'll bind the guy up here. So I like to try to keep it in order as much as possible. Front-end code is pretty relaxing in my opinion. backend code is pretty fun. DevOps is when you pull your hair out. But yeah, what did I? What order did I put this? After handle submit. I like to input handle submit. Put handles. I don't have the mental capacity to do this right now. Like keep everything in line. Hey. All right, last thing. Okay, last thing. I want to make these into cards. Okay. Alright, so that's idea card list. And then, okay, idea card list. Alrighty. Alright, let's make these little guys. Looks like I have an idea card here. I'm just gonna make them not so crappy real quick. Don't forget to wrap it in a P tag. We got an idea on the list now. That's right, man. Yeah. Doop doo. Okay. This is misspelled. This should be idea capital card. These are all important, guys. Naming your functions and all that stuff consistently is very, very, you know, patterns and doing things habitually will set you free and help you get rid of your mistakes. Like easy to make mistakes. Let's import our styles. SCSS, right? Oh, I'm getting sleepy, guys. I'm supposed to be editing my video, but I'm using this as an excuse. I'm working instead on this instead of editing my video. I'll edit it tomorrow and hopefully I'll release it either end of tomorrow or Sunday. Part 2, baby. Alright, background color is white. Oops. Alright, same thing with this, right? Min width. Who remembers my min width? 350 px or is it 250 px? 350 px, and then width is 70%, right? Yeah. Border color. Or padding was 20, right? Padding 20 px. Was it too much? No, that's about right. I think that's right. Because if you go down, maybe not. No, padding wasn't. Padding was 510.5. Great. Okay, border radius was 5. Thanks, tutorial spiller. Yeah, getting more subs would be great. Idea card. I do it for the love. No. Honestly, the reason I started this channel is because I feel like there's there's not a lot of long form content on YouTube for like programming, so that's why I'm doing these like live sessions, because that was one thing that was really frustrating for me when I was learning how to program, is that no one really just codes. Like everyone's too like self-conscious, and they like make these like perfect videos that, you know, edit everything out. But live sessions are great because then you guys can see how someone goes through like solving a problem, like how someone would actually go, like, you know, I go through like real bugs here and like real thoughts, right? So, but yeah, anyways, thanks for the love. So funny. Yeah. All right, so I want to do, let's import my colors here, right? Import styles, colors. What did I name my color? Space gray? Space gray. Let's double check. Nope, I didn't. I'm not a good citizen. I know I did space gray somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. No, I just put that there. Alright, I'm going crazy here. Let me put that space gray. Here it is. Space gray. Then, space gray. Colors imported. Nice. Boom. Only one instance. Refactor successfully. Wait. Is it $sign? Yeah, it's $sign. Yeah. Okay, we got some cards here. Okay, I'm gonna add some margins to them because they look weird. Let's just add margin top. Takes a lot of courage to code on live, man. Cool. Thank you. All right, nice. Okay, I got my 10 ideas. I got my cards going, right? Okay, before I end the session today, I'm gonna try to do 10. I'm gonna try to do my idea muscle trainer. I'm gonna do what should I do? How about 10 YouTube video ideas for my channel? All right, let's go. I have no ideas right now, currently. So, all right, let's see. Part 3 of how I became a software engineer. So, surprise, part 2 was really long, I think. So, I'll probably need a part 3. Part 3 will talk about like the process I took on how I got a job, essentially. Leak code problem. I could probably just do 10 leak code problems. But yeah, leak code problem on what's a good topic? So I already done binary search. Binary search. This is a good one. This is like a really good one. Let's see. I want to do like a dev journal on magic mirror. Maybe not a magic mirror. So magic mirror is this thing where it's like those smart mirrors. It's like a one-way mirror, and behind it there's a computer screen, and then like it shows you like the time and like a HUD. I want to I'm gonna build this whole thing. I bought a lot of parts already, and I'm doing some research on it. And it's really easy to build, but I'm gonna build this whole thing. Let's see. This is really hard, actually. Oh yeah. My web dev setup. So a lot of people ask me how I like move my screen like keyboard like this and stuff like that. So, and also like bring this guy up, and I don't know. Like I think it might be worth like sharing some of my tips on how I do my screen management, all that kind of jazz. Let's see. Big O. Big O is a good 1, 2. I should probably add numbers here, right? Numbers to this side. Card. Sorry, just adding it before I forget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. Come on, help me come up with some more ideas, guys. What's a good idea? What should I do for another video? I could. The thing is, the easy thing to do is just list off data structures. But okay, I'm gonna do one. Deep dive into linked lists. Yeah. And then deep dive into graphs. And then, oh no. Okay, so this is a small bug, I think, because I limited my window to 100 view height. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we ran into our first like UI bug, but basically it's because I know why. It's because I set the height of this thing to be 100 view height. If I do this, it fixes it. So there's no way I could go down more. Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, I saw this really good video on how to make chai tea. So, programmers drinks. Did I cover recursion? I feel like I haven't covered recursion yet. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, programmers drinks. Recursion. All right, we're at 9, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Okay, we're at 9. Last one. How to be how to get promoted. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, there you guys have it. This has been another session of live coding Q&A. Looks like a lot of people. Thanks everyone for asking questions and joining. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys in the chat. I am going to end this now by adding a commit. Ooh, what the? Oh no. I was in Node, I forgot. Decent notebooks to buy for someone starting a bootcamp. Ooh, MacBook Air, really good choice. Any MacBook Pros is great. I learned on the MacBook Air for like 3 years, so I got my first job. All the way up to my first job, I had a MacBook Air. It served me well, especially if you're doing just web dev. But yeah, that's a good. Ooh. Cool. All right, let's do this. So this is called an interactive ad mode. It's just pretty nice because then you can review your code changes before you do it. So I'm hitting Y for yes. Looks like I have a bunch of like empty space. Whatever. But yeah, like this is cool because you could like hit S for split, and then you could like interactively add just what you want. So I do this every time, and then like I go if I was doing this for real, I would just go back and fix it. Git add dot. That added that source file. So commit. Wait, I wanna check my log real quick. What did I initial commit on the project live stream session? I'm gonna grab this. All right, great. What did I do today? second live stream session. 1/, what day is it today? 2/15/2019. Alright. Second live session. Minor style, initial styling of dashboard and other components, and refresh button and functionality. Functionality. I'm not really good at spelling. English is my second language, so it's fine. Alright. Usually you would push this to a separate branch and then make a PR, but this is my own code base, so YOLO. Alright, I'm all done for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that session, and hopefully I finish editing my video so you guys can see it this week. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Alright, how do I stop this?